How is he?
Good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me as most Tuesdays, we have Rob, Fat Stacks of Comics. How you doing tonight, Rob?
I'm here. I'll be asleep in 10 minutes probably.
And below, I got the whole Cranky Comic chat here, so check them out on Wednesdays, guys. We have Taylor Winder below us. How you doing tonight, Taylor?
You know, my colitis is acting up just for Rob's sake. And otherwise, I'm doing all right.
And of course, our man of the hour, making his first appearance on the 1011, we have Eddie. How you doing tonight, Eddie? Old Man Collectibles.
I'm sick as a dog. Sick as a dog. No voice. So cranky as.
Eddie, as I like to do, I'm going to let you give the quick 2 minutes of who you are, like what your channel's about, what you do, and then we'll say hi to the chat. Then we'll come back to you for your first book, sir.
We got too many people in here. I don't know. I don't get this many watchers. You gotta be kidding me. Pretty much, I come down to pretty much opening shit I get in the mail. That makes sense. I really don't have a theme anymore. I just kind of open whatever I want and do whatever videos I want. And cards are most people hate the card videos and the toy videos, but it's mainly open. My voice is calm. My God, hang on. God, I feel like I'm old. Jesus. Pretty much just open up any mystery boxes I can find, and which have been pretty much nothing. And I pretty much just make mystery boxes in my part time. That's about it. Ain't much else there. I got about 400 people, and it kind of does this, and the views are like 30 or 40 a video, and I ain't gonna go much higher than that. I really don't care.
That's right, as long as you're having fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
How was it for you putting all the books together for tonight? Did you have a hard time, or was it pretty easy deciding what you wanted to do?
I was short one until about 5 minutes ago, so I don't have. I mean, really, because I wasn't going to do all X-Men because that's like the bulk of the stuff. So I had to go back and find things and go and just look for old stuff I used to have that I rebought since restarting it all.
Nice. All right, let's go to the chat. We'll say we have Las Cruces in first, as always. Good evening, Las Cruces. Then Hulk Collector Kevin. Nice to see you, Kevin. Mr. Steve White. How you doing, Steve? Nice to see you, buddy. Anaconda Comics. How you doing tonight, Joe?
Just do this.
Funny Bloom and Flower. Good evening. How you doing tonight? Nice to see you.
I like the username.
Miss Tina Carrington. How you doing tonight, Tina? Nice to see you. We have Son of a Bruce, Chris from Retro Rocket Comics. Good evening, Chris. Nice to see you, sir. And keep scrolling down here. And we have Brad from Wellbore. How you doing tonight, Brad? Nice to see you, sir. Hope you're staying warm over there in Canada. Paul from Psychedelic Comics. Good evening. And Seth 11. Good evening, sir. One of my favorite people ever, Jerry the Jitterbug. How you doing tonight, Jerry? Mr. Chuck Hensey has joined us. Derek Cavan. Good evening, sir.
Nothing classes up a joint like inviting Eddie.
Yeah.
And then
it really is like hanging out with my grandpa. You get the tussin and a whole shitload of used Kleenex.
Aaron, how you doing tonight, sir? Psychotronic Squirt Gun. How you doing tonight? Nice to see you. All right, and Bobby De La Ghetto has joined us. And we'll get back to you, Eddie. And as people join, I'll just give them a quick salute and nod and acknowledge that they've come in to watch us. And so, Eddie, lead us out with your first book, bud.
Yeah, so my first book, I've decided to get this. No, it's not really a book, but I thought about Dungeons and Dragons a lot, and I thought about X-Men and maybe some Matchbox, but ultimately, I thought I'd just sit here and look weird.
That was eerily accurate.
Oh, hey, hold on a second. The dog's barking, and I got a grandkid running around the place somewhere.
Yeah,
you have to unmute yourself, Eddie, to talk.
Fuck, I didn't know it was muted.
There you go.
Yeah,
yeah, that was
I was catch on.
Coffee my brains
Get along with you for a second.
Never know. Yes, I have this out because my throat's gone. So the only way I
Yeah.
can talk is if I spray this every once in a while. I'm like,
Not
shit,
even. It's like
what's
generic
wrong?
Tussin. It's awesome.
Oh, old man shakes fist at cloud.
Yeah. All right, that better be the first appearance of Old Man Simpson then.
I was gonna say, next guest, Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah.
Playing cards cost.
And now
Oh,
he's
good.
either
Nice
frozen or
frozen.
holding very still.
Right?
This is actually his invisible comic from
Yeah.
Bad Idea, and
Oh, I hope we didn't lose him already.
great.
Yeah, Japanese voiceover is going great.
Yeah, it's like consider this the world's worst Godzilla movie.
So yeah, so
Right, so
Gary, how are you doing?
oh, I am doing fine. Like I said, started a new shift, so my body's adjusting to that, and get home in the morning, try to catch a few hours sleep before I get going. Hopefully Eddie's going to be back in here in a second and not frozen.
Yeah, you tell what? Hey Taylor, you gonna have a white Christmas where you're at?
No, it's gonna be gray and gross. It's like I'm living in Seattle again.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I suppose there's always that.
We're going to have 50 degrees on Christmas here, Rob. What about you guys?
Well, where I live, the temperature is going to drop down to the the low 60s. I'm going down to visit my parents in the desert, and for some strange reason, it's going to be the coldest it's going to be like all year, as it's going to drop to the mid 60s. And I'm going, great. I'm going to the desert for have a nice warm Christmas, and I'm just going to be freaking in the mid 60s. So there he is. There he is back.
I give up. My internet, everything just you all turned into black swirls on the screen.
Well,
I'm
you
like,
just did this for like 10
Yeah,
minutes.
you are showing us your Bad Idea comic.
Yeah.
Right.
Bad idea.
No.
Yeah.
There was a clear invisible comic.
Oh, I know. It was,
Yeah, Bobby said station, Eddie. All right, so Eddie, you're back. While we still have you, let's start out with your first book, sir.
well, you can show that little that thing I put up there.
All right, let's
I mean, I somewhere out there, this is
Rob
where
and I
I
are
bought my
both
first
doing
comic book, that I remember. This is a little shop off of College Point Boulevard in Queens, New York. And I have a bunch of older comics somewhere out in the garage that are Richie Rich, all that weird Yogi Bear and all that stuff. But that's where I first bought this guy.
That's a comic shop?
No, that was just a soda shop where they sold comics.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna
They
say
had
that
the
looks
rack.
like a show me where the shop owner touched you kind of
I
place.
was 5 years old. I was 5 years old.
Nice.
It's been shut down for 30 years.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know when it was last open.
That's like the snack bar at my high school.
Jesus Christ! Want some candy, little boy, and a comic?
But it's kind of cool that they still haven't torn it down, Eddie. And you
Yeah,
can
well, across
where you
I
first
took
got
my
your comic.
when my daughter was born 26 years ago. I took my second wife there, and we visited my grandmother, we lived in that still a family in the area, and we walked down those streets, and you're like, there's a deli, and she couldn't believe people worked on the up above the deli and all that kind of crap, and but yeah, I haven't opened this book up in probably 30 years. And I finally did. It's in bad shape. So this was the book I found
Like
that
its owner.
sad. Huh?
Like its owner.
It is
Yeah.
bad. So I mean,
What issue number is that?
155.
155. I mean, this thing is coming apart. So as my second book, I had to go ahead and get it in a 9.2 just to have a copy of it that was in good shape. So there you go.
That, sir, is fucking cheating.
So did you always just connect with the? Did you like the story, Eddie? Or
I'm sorry, Gary. What?
so did you like the story? Is it just one of the first ones you read when you were a kid, or
It was one of the first Marvel comics. The only Marvel comic I have from when I was 5 years old that we bought. I don't have any of the rest. If I bought more, I don't know. I didn't collect back then. It's just one I found somewhere when I started collecting when I was like 10. So, sorry.
That's cool that you had it though, and that you can still like see the shop where you bought it from. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, ended up getting pulled by my family to California when I was like 9 or 10.
You had to get away from that terrifying shop.
Dude, you got to take a visit to Queens, dude. It's kind of
I know, but like Eddie, no
grandmother's
part of that
house
looks like a store of any kind.
My
It looks
grandmother's
like a
house
store
is
of a
probably
sex
1 minute away up the road. See, watch. Let me try and find her house. It's hard.
No.
It sold it years ago, and she sold her little duplex thing, which we lived on the second floor at one point, for I think around $500,000 for that tiny little. We're talking about
Wow.
little slim places. So, I mean,
All
I
right.
left there. I
What's your
left
next
there when I
book?
was like 10.
All right, number 2, sir.
Was that? My brain's gone. So really, I don't have a lot of other I then ended up moving on. Are we moving on to the next books, or do I just keep on?
Yeah,
going?
yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
said.
keep
Yep.
going.
Yep, number 2, bud.
Actually, number 3. Those are the first two. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
stuck with those two. Sorry.
I said
I
he was
really had
cheating.
a hard
He was
Oh,
cheating.
so Eddie cheated,
Yeah,
He cheated the opposite way most of us cheat.
right?
Yep.
yeah.
God damn right.
Rich, how you doing, Marco?
Okay, so then about the age of 10, I moved to California. I was stuck in the good part of California, southern, unlike northern Rob's area.
Oh, we lost him again. How'd that happen?
What?
Go ahead, Eddie.
No, never mind. The joke is
I can gladly just sit here and just do nothing. I don't care.
No, I
so
want to
then-
hear your stuff. That's why.
I can just sit here. And
Eddie,
let you
show a
guys
book.
ramble. What?
show a book.
Show a book.
Oh, first we got a question from Paul, Eddie. He wants to know when you actually got into actual collecting comics.
About age of 11 in California, in Southern California. There was a place in Claremont called the Packing House, which is now like a nouveau restaurant, bookstore type area, but it was an actual packing house. But a friend of ours had a place down off of, I don't freaking know, but his name was Jerome. That's all we know. Older guy, you're right, probably creepy as fuck, but still, we'd go there and hang out near a movie theater. And this is pretty much the first book I started back then.
Nice.
So
First Julia Carpenter.
this cover, this is like the first cover, but then I went back and got the whole rest. And then pretty much by the time for the next 20, I collected everything. There was a Mile High Comics. I lived in Anaheim for a while. There was a Mile High Comics in Anaheim. Every week I'd be getting books. X-Men was the main theme. So Chris Claremont, but I had nothing below 100 and 142 back then. So I had, and I had years and years of them. And then I got into selling Magic the Gathering cards, got it. And then when I was in college, I kind of teetered off of collecting and started selling some of it, just the extra stuff, which the final book has got a story on that. But so I still collected every time I went home and grabbed books. And I worked at a comic shop my last year of high school down in Upland. No way, not earlier. I started, I was like, what? I don't know, that'd be 82, 83, maybe 81. I was only like 8 or 9. I didn't even really think about collecting. So, but yeah, this was the big book I got back then. It was like my favorite. I went back, got all the other ones from this series, and then started I got the Frank Miller Wolverine. I still have the 4, the originals, but the conditions, 7s, 8s.
All right. As long as you enjoy them, Eddie, that's all that matters.
Well, back then I was actually reading them.
Right.
I mean, no offense. I'll tell you right now, I haven't read a book in a year, just because. Actually, last series I read was crap. I forgot. It was that Image one with the guy who was on drugs, and it was just I don't remember. I forgot the name of it. It was only a 12-book series. Crap, I forget now. That tells you how bad it is. But either way, no big deal. So I'm heavily collecting. I had, by the time I moved to Vegas, I mean, I stopped collecting for years and started doing Hot Wheels, as you all know. Yippee. We don't have to get into that, but moved to Vegas with all 16 long boxes and decided I had needed money because I got laid off. So this is about 14 years ago, I think, but 8 years here, 11, 12 years ago. Had 16 long boxes, everything X-Men, all this stuff from the 80s and 90s. During the time I worked in the comic shop when they were doing, when Image first started and all those specialty books, Scumbag, that was it. That's the last series I actually read. Say I every time I try a new one, I get disheartened by it and just can't get into it anymore. I don't know what it is about them. I just can't. Storylines are not keeping me anymore. I mean, I love some of the random shit, but most of the storylines I just don't enjoy anymore. I don't know why. I like the art more than anything.
Right.
So I had worked in a comic shop during the Image boom, and that's when you get those gold foil covers And that was the big thing during the death of Robin.
And the hologram covers and
Yep, Frank Miller's Dark Knight. I had all that stuff, 16 long boxes. So
And now it's all back.
it's all gone, dude. Well, no,
No, but that's like
different.
the
It's
cycle
different.
of the cycle
A
of
cycle
comics
of hell.
spoil.
right.
And now the
I'll
death
say
of
it's like the
Robin
90s
Baker,
again
like,
right now.
Yep. So I
Yeah.
get to Vegas. My dad has passed away. His second wife passed away. My dad passed away. I got laid off. I don't know, and started buying different things, Hot Wheels, when my second wife was in the hospital down in Long Beach. Started buying Hot Wheels. She passes away. Moved to Long Beach. Moved to Vegas 3 years later with the current wife. And I had at the time I had gotten a 2010 Camaro. So we're looking about 13 years ago. And I started not being able to afford it because in Vegas at the time I was a substitute teacher again. Yeah, I know it's pretty much a fucking country song. I got it. So go to Vegas, got garage, had 13 long boxes, got rid of Magic the Gathering cards that would make me rich right now if I had kept them all. I had everything. I had the Lotuses, I had the Moxes. I mean, we spent college was all Magic the Gathering right when Beta and Alpha came out. We bought that stuff like there was no tomorrow. So get to Vegas, realize I'm paying $500, $400 for a Camaro, can't afford it anymore. So I just put all my comic books. I grabbed a, probably still have the, I didn't even think about looking on the internet. I should have grabbed a book of, a comic book pricing guide, went through everything, kept all my X-Men, tried to pick out all the books I thought might be worth money, and then sold 15 long boxes for $800.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the most expensive book I could say is in there was First Deadpool, and I haven't replaced it yet. I hated the New Mutants first run towards the beginning. And I mean, back in the day doing conventions when I was working with comic books, Spider-Man 300 sold for $30. I got rid of it. So during late college, I was doing cons, selling stuff, trading stuff, getting what I wanted, but getting rid of a lot of stuff. So now we're looking 13 years ago. I started just Hot Wheels all the way. So now I don't even know how many years ago we start getting I start getting sick of Hot Wheels after I've got an entire garage full of them. So I had more Hot Wheels than you'd ever want. Ranging from $1,500 stuff to $3,000 sets, really expensive stuff. Even the old stuff, the original red lines. A company I decided I'm done with Hot Wheels. Yeah, my board. Yeah, I know, I got it. Okay, yeah. Well, you want to know the story?
Yeah, so
This
it's
leads
an
me-
interesting story idea. Just
This leads to me to like
your
3
voice
years ago.
just sounds painful.
My voice is painful. Tomorrow night's going to be a blast. Yeah, tomorrow night on my channel, we've got a normal chat every Wednesday. Taylor's going to wake up and actually make it, I think, this time. But so about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I guess. I don't even know when. How long have I known you, Taylor? That's probably about what time it was.
Probably about 4 years now. Yeah, I don't know. COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all met each other, right?
There's pre-COVID and then there's post-COVID, and then it's all just a drunken mess somewhere in the middle.
It's a blur. That's when we used to have the alcohol, which is still up there.
Taylor was actually one of the first channels I watched when I first got it.
I think it was,
YouTube.
You
it
poor
was
bastard.
him and DJ and some of the bigger ones.
I think when I started watching Taylor, he had like 140 subs.
Yeah. And now you've like triple laughed me, Gary, and you're like super popular, and you're the king of the comic community. And so
I can't break 500, so don't worry about it.
Number 4, Eddie.
Oh,
books.
okay. Well, I'm getting the number 4's coming. This is where I'm getting.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm getting to the story where all of the stuff from here on is either stuff I replaced. So I was down to one box of X-Men. So I sold a company in Florida, decided they wanted to buy my Hot Wheels collection. And I didn't want to piecemeal it out because I'd been piecemealing a little here and there. They came, packaged up 28 boxes to UPS, pulled back their truck into my driveway. All the Hot Wheels went.
Wow.
28 boxes of Hot Wheels. They wired me $18,000 and said, go. So no, that was it. Hot Wheels gone. I went back. I started back into comic books. I should have at that point said, hey, I want to do X-Men 1 to 100. I've got $18,000 burning in my pocket. I can buy the expensive ones. Fuck no, didn't bother. I started watching mystery boxes and fell in love with that stuff. I love them. Back when Box Heroes, which I still do every once in a while. So I just started, and then we learned YouTube. So I started putting videos out, and that's what started that. So we're going to go with the first book, which is probably a weird one to start with, but I fell in love with these. this was one of my first major CGC things. I fell in love with lenticular covers.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why. The only one that ever came back in 9.9.
I was gonna say that those you have a
Wow.
legit chance with.
Yeah, that's why I sent them in. Every other one I used to just put one into every just to see what I get. And I've got, and so this is the only one that ever came back. So this started like, I love these old, I looked and didn't even know these existed when I got back into it. I'm like, ooh, I paid like $5 for every single one of them. I don't know why. I just love the look of them and how they were. And I went out and looked for them.
That's
So
all right, man. You're allowed to like what you like.
well, yeah, I'm just saying, because
They're
I used to have
cool.
this cover. I had all the Spider-Mans from this year and that kind of stuff. So, and I really got rid of almost all of them.
I got about 10 of them here, but I never slabbed any of them.
I have about 4 slabbed, and that's the only one that ever came back in 9.9. So
I've never owned a 9.9.
that's the only 9.9 I've got.
That lenticulars rock. Yeah, they're fun.
Yep. So then instead of going in and deciding I wanted to get X-Men 1 to 100, I said I'm going to go back and buy the shit that I loved back in the day. So
Nice.
I used to love the hokey 80s stuff like we used to have. So now I have a bunch of these, not a lot yet. Can you tell? Now you're going to be able to tell what it is. So I started getting back into getting these either already graded or trying to send some in. These are extremely Freaks #1 hologram cover, not the gold hologram. I don't own any of the gold. I own about 3 or 4 of the. I love the hologram covers, especially the full holograms. Yes, kitschy, weird ass 80s shit. So
Hey, Eddie, if you're into the gimmicks, you really should go buy the new Batman Christmas book because it's a scratch and a sniff.
I don't want to smell Batman's ass on the thing.
No, apparently it smells like peppermint candy, but whatever.
I remember back in school the scratch and sniffs we used to buy it. So yeah, I mean that's
yes, they do, Trev.
And then of course, because I was trying to get back, most of the rest of this is all going to be just stuff I wanted to reclaim that I used to have. I mean, favorite show during the 80s.
Nice.
Best show during the 80s, the original. So I went for the Battlestar Galactica. I still have the original.
Now, did you like the reboot? Oh, hell yeah.
This whole thing.
They were all the same damn game, too. They had the football version, and they're all basically
I have a few of them laying around, but I found somebody who could get me a refurbished one of these because mine was long gone. Also, at the time, I should say this, besides doing comic books, I was also doing retro gaming, which is why you see these machines back here. Because I've got 4 left. I think I sold 1. I mean, that friggin' Star Wars one.
Did you watch the Battlestar 1980 show too, where they're all on Earth on the stupid motorcycles?
I watched all that crap. I barely remember
like the reboot that they did too. That got super.
I did love the reboot. The reboot I loved. I bought seasons of that back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cylons were my thing.
It was good until they made Kara Thrace into Jesus.
I hear rumors that they're going to relaunch it too.
I mean, basically, the Cylons were like, my cool thing. Okay, next one. I know I'm going fast.
Did you get the toys too, Eddie? Because I used to have the little Cylon one. We shoot the little darts out of it.
Those are great.
The only one my parents ever got me was I think it was a model of the Cylon Raider because it didn't collapse like they normally do, but it did shoot little things out of it. That's all. It's long destroyed. I had micro.
I never had the Cylon. I had whatever what are the other ones called? What were the good guys ships called? Do you remember?
Vipers.
Yeah, I had one of the Vipers that shot the little red plastic.
Back then, my parents got us Micronauts, the old-fashioned Micronauts. Me and my sister both got that white ship that was about that wide, had 2 guns on both sides with the big. We both got that for Christmas in New York. So it had to be like when I was 8 or 9. It's long gone, long destroyed.
Did you also get lawn darts?
We had lawn darts. Yes, we did.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep, darts.
Back when childhood, they were like, if you swallow plastic and die, it's because you're dumb. That's all they, it's not.
Right. Where your parents would send you out and, hey, they just expect you to be home for dinner. They don't know where you are the whole day.
Oh, yeah. I still, I lived, we moved off of Queens out to Long Island, North Babylon, and we had this house on the corner, had a 40-foot Christmas tree basically to the right of it. Somebody finally got rid of it. I got pictures of it, but we played lawn darts there. It flooded. We shut off fireworks. We had firework fights. I was 9 years old. I was outside either in snowball fights or I was shooting off bottle rockets at each other up and down the street.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I have all the Micronauts comics, but I've never had a Micronauts toy.
I don't think my mom got rid of them all, and I'm trying to find. There was this one I loved. He was a metal head, a body, and he had wings that flip open when he had a little thing on it. I've been looking. You can pay like $20, $30, $40 just for the little wing part. So,
I think
Rob fell
I
asleep.
remember his name off the top.
I'm here.
Now.
Darren Carson
talking about cool toys.
Yeah.
So yeah, during the time I went back when I got the $18,000 and should have done one thing. I bought those. I bought Hot Wheels. Yes, I have a rack of Hot Wheels still up here, but I bought cards, Magic. I spent so much money on Marvel Masterpiece cards, 2020s. It was just I had fun with that money. So what I should have done was bought old X-Men.
Right.
Sorry, my voice is definitely gone.
You're fine. I appreciate that you still came out, voice and all.
The last time the diverticulitis was more painful than this. But they say you get it. Once you get it, you're going to get it again. And I went, really? That was bent over in pain, was not fun. So then we go on to my high school days, and I had this book. And instead of buying, I've come to the realization that I'm going to buy books I want now, already graded, because CGC is a pain in the ass to deal with. I don't want to take a chance that I buy a book that's going to be whatever. So during my high school days, this was probably the best show on TV.
Hell yeah.
So we went with Macross #1. Nice. I know the book I had was probably a better shape than this one, but I'm a cheap fuck. So if I find I'll go on eBay and see a book I want. I will, I do only best offers, and I will offer you half what you're asking. Once in a while, they say, screw it.
For those that don't know, that's Roboten. It's just the first issue is Macross.
Macross, right. Official English adaptation.
And now, Steve is a big Robotech fan that's watching.
Have you tried watching the show at all in the past as a grown-up, Eddie?
I have. The only thing I've got, I have the Invasion series on DVD, and I tried to watch it. Just like I tried to watch, I have, what's the other one I have? The 5 tigers turn into Voltron.
Oh, Voltron, yeah.
Voltron. I tried to watch Voltron again. I loved them back in the day. Can't watch them now to save my friend.
Well, they were all this pieced together from Japanese shows and just kind of overdubbed with whatever they could make into a sort of a plot. But but
the first
that annoying that Min-Mei from the first series was so damn annoying. You just want to chuck her out the airlock now.
Yeah, but everything else we played BattleTech back in the day in high school. I was playing hardcore. We played Marvel. I saw books from the original Marvel RPG.
They took 3 different series to make into the Robotech show, if I remember right. It was each season was a different Japanese series that had nothing to do with each other. And the third one had a trans singer, and it was pretty progressive for the 80s. But
this is before computer stuff. I remember in those days we had kind of in between. I started programming computers back in junior high, 7th and 8th grade, Commodore 64s. And we had our computer lab had 32 Commodore 64s, 16 and 16, all of them networked into 2 5.25 floppies. So 32 people would have to take turns loading off of it. One 5.25. There was 2 apples in the back of the thing that had hard drives, but everybody else Commodore 64s. And I had to go to homeroom and teach the people how to program the Commodore 64s back in the day. That's 7th grade. So that's also comic books comic books back then and things like that. So, I play computer games. I've never touched Nintendo 64 was nothing to me. If I want to go play Mario, I went to the hobby shop, and played the stand-up Mario versus Luigi, the 2 characters jumping on the screen. I didn't do this Nintendo shit at home. I had an Atari 800 XL.
There we go. So Psychedelic says he started with the old apples back in '79. Steve White said he had the 64s and the 128s.
have
This is the first where like old man yells at modern 8-bit Nintendo systems.
fucking Nintendo was crap. I'm sorry. Where is it? I mean, I got bored. I know there's a better one coming out. There's an Amiga 500 one coming out, but I mean, come on. There's one that you could actually. This one will actually program in Commodore 64 Basic, but you have to use like a mouse or a joystick to do all the work. The new one, supposedly, it's in Europe, is a full working keyboard. So, I mean, I got too much shit.
You're
Okay.
not programming the punch cards. Are you really programming it all?
My friend programmed the punch cards, but he's also 85, so he used to work in the computer rooms when there was an entire room. But now when I went and visited him a few months ago, and all I can talk about is how big his colon is. I'm like, I'm not there yet. I don't
Are
need
we?
to hear it's the
Are
size
we? Aren't we though?
of mine's not the size of a softball.
Rob, that's 2024, sir.
Oh, okay.
So you got to wait another month.
That's for Eddie's second appearance. Got it.
Yeah.
Next book, Eddie.
Oh. Okay, this I took one of my my proudest moment from CGC because I never do these. I know Rob does a few thousand of them, and I might get rid of it one of these days if I need the money. It's not worth that much, but still, I had to. This was my own copy.
Oh, nice.
This was my own copy. What I learned from the stuff I kept from CGC in the main last book, I had 4 to 5 9.8s come back, but all the books I sent from back in the day when I collected, almost 80 or 90% of them came back as 9.8s. So this one, when they had the triple signature of Beatty, Zek, and Shooter, I sent this in. It's the only, I don't do these very often. I gave up on CGC just because I got frustrated, but this one did come back. This is my personal books from back in the day. So some of
96
these I
is
did
really
save.
good for having 3 signatures.
Yeah, I was surprised it came back. To me, if you really look at the book, it's a 9.2. You know what I mean? You can see on the back where it's got imperfections, but still, hey, CGC was being good during the COVID. But, so that was kind of like my biggest one.
That's because they knew everybody had money then.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But so then I started getting it. Right now, what? Hang on. 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5. So 6 by, there's 24 short boxes of books now. I went from 1 long box up to now 24 short boxes, actually 22 and 2 long boxes. So that's what I currently have. And most of it I don't care about. It's stuff I just don't even, it's stuff I got in mystery boxes. I can't give it away fast enough. So I started getting stuff, mainly trying to replace old stuff. I should have really started working on X-Men. So instead, I said, hey, these prices are getting good. I'll get one. So I went back to these.
Oh, nice.
I went and found this for a decent price. It was number 4. I want 1, 2, and 3 again. I had these back in the day, and they're all gone. This is when I was doing the shows during late college. I was first marriage, I guess. Yeah. These were actually pretty cheap, and we used to have them all the time, along with the Crow the original Crow books. So that was, kind of wanted to, but I really I'm really going back to the X-Men only.
Shoot, I had 4 copies of number 2, the first appearance of April O'Neil, but they all ended up with Alan May.
Nice.
I found I did keep my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set, and back I got rid of all the first prints, so I do have a 1, 2, and 3. I don't know what prints 2 and 3 are, but number 1 is like the 4th print. I mean, because back then nobody cared. We weren't trying to get the first print. We just, hey, we got one, and
Yeah,
it
you
was
want to read it.
size.
And back then, and when it was black and white and serious, it was actually a really good read.
Yeah.
Not that it's not a good read now. I don't know. I haven't, but I did like them when they first started out. I thought it was great.
Well, from what I remember, they were graphic as all hell. I mean, people died. I mean, it was the same.
Yeah, they were serious. They weren't Cowabunga turtles. They were serious.
See, the turtles, like that, I was just a little. The age wasn't right for me, so I missed out on. I wasn't reading that kind of stuff, and then it just didn't appeal to me visually when I saw it. So I was like, yeah.
I got into them retroly, Taylor. Someone I knew recommended it, so I read the Mirage ones. Really enjoyed it, but then as soon as it hit the cartoon and it was the Cowabunga dudes, I was like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard good things about the original run. It's just never, how many books I've heard good things about that I'm never gonna get back to reading.
Right. Well, there's only so much time, right?
Yeah.
one I sent to CGC is one I wish I would have kept, but at the time I was more into. I got rid of Hulk 340 and a 9.8. I got it back from CGC, and by the time I posted pictures, look what I got. Somebody turned around and said, "I'll give you $800 for it." I went, "Okay, here you go." I mean, I love the cover, but it's not. I don't collect Hulk, but still,
Yeah.
I kept that was my personal 340. Just I kept McFarlane books when I went through them before I got rid of them to these guys down in Vegas. I kept the McFarlane books, McFarlane Run stuff, anything I had left. But I, just like random. But I did miss out the Deadpool. I would like to replace that one.
Yeah.
That's one book I feel bad that I got rid of. But then again, they got a hell of a deal if they knew what they got.
Right.
New Mutants wasn't my favorite series, but I still had 1 through 100. You know what I mean? Because I was doing X-Men, had to do New Mutants, but I hated we call him Sankiewicz. I hated his artwork. I hated it like a fucking passion. I'm like, I was a 12-year-old kid or whatever. I couldn't even make out what the fuck was happening in it. Or actually, at that point, I was like 15 or 16. I
I just think
hated
it's funny because he's one of my favorite artists of all time, and I really can't stand him. So, like, we have very opposite.
Well, there's a book in Vegas I might get. I've been thinking about it. It's he did the cover. I don't know if he did the interior. I think it was the Wolverine series after when he had his first ever normal series. It was him and Sabretooth on the cover.
Meltdown.
And
It was Wolverine Havoc Meltdown. No, that was
17 or
different.
something.
Okay.
It was below 20, I think. A Place in Vegas still has his book. It's a 9.46, but he had it was say he signed it and he sketched on it.
Nice.
But in the bottom right corner, I've never seen. I guess it looks like he used whiteout.
Yeah.
He whited
probably
it
did.
out and then did the sketch on top of it, which
Yeah, he probably
I
did.
didn't know was a thing.
Right.
Well,
But I don't
Kevin's
know.
never really, Kevin's just made up a lot of his own shit and just did what he wanted. So, like, he was experimental with all that. So,
but still, those covers of those first few New Mutant books just made me cringe. Later on, I don't mind him, I guess, and I don't really pay attention to him, but I really didn't care about Liefeld. I mean, I met Liefeld, I met McFarlane. We had signings at the shop back when I worked at it. We were fucking. Liefeld was a fucking dick. Well, I mean, really, I lost all my. I mean, he was a fucking dick. He still is to this day. I'm almost out of books.
Well, yeah, we're on number 10.
Yeah.
Are we? All right, Gary's keep a count.
Yeah, I go quick. So now I started. You can't see. I don't know if you.
You're doing good, Eddie. You're having long stories in the middle of some of this, so it's all.
If you look over there, my tiny wall of shit that's up there, nowhere compare. Oh yeah, that artwork right there is. Hang on, that one right there. I gotta get the guy's name. It's by Isaac Cordova. He was one of the guys. He was a minor Marvel guy back in the day, so he actually did that one. And then to the left is a Gambit. I got another Gambit up there because during when I was working at the comic shop, Gambit was my guy. Not so much anymore, I guess, but I used to love Gambit. So I had a friend do some artwork here and there. They're all kind of water damaged, but Cordova did that one. He introduced this character. Hang on, it is
Is this
premiered
tie
in
into
Ghost
book 10?
Rider 98 Night Terror. So that was,
Nice.
I have a little bit of artwork, and of course, the big artwork over here, of course, is those two from Taylor.
Yeah, the big artist.
But Taylor didn't do a book. So what's book number 10?
I actually did. I made just not a
book
comic.
number 10. Well, I'm getting to that. So
Oh,
at this
okay.
point, I started going back into wanting. I love the older artwork now, which is I was explaining because those book up theirs are all strange tales and tales of suspense and that kind of stuff. So I started buying those up, and as Rob will tell you, cheap as shit right now. But those are about a year ago. But I found this in a random, and nobody really cares, but I thought this was the coolest cover ever. I don't have any strange tales or anything like this. It's missing the entire, I mean, I paid $15 for it. It's shredded along here. It's missing the number. I don't even know what number this is. All I can tell you is, hang on. Yeah, I spent $20 at this stupid thing cost you $20 at God, what's that Torpedo down in Vegas? But I was down in Vegas looking. I don't even know what number this is, but I just loved it for the cover. So $15. I was happy with it.
I can't think what number it is either, but yeah.
It's 107. but still, I didn't. I at this point in my time, I had no Strange Tales, so it got me into these. And as I was doing X-Men 1 to 100, I started buying up these, Tales of Suspenses because I love the covers. So yes, the book number. Whew.
Yeah, the art back then was just great.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. I buy books if I like the art covers, and I like we tried. I don't know. I haven't seen Rob. Have you posted? I haven't looked. Have you posted your Unknown Comics X-Men chances yet?
It's still in transit.
Okay, mine got here and I already posted. It was shit box, nothing of any big deal. But so we go to the X-Men. So I started going. I want 1 to 100. So I made my first big purchase when I had the money. Ended up being.
Oh,
It took me
nice.
so long to make a decision on this one. I paid $300 for it. And the funny part of it was I was offered by another guy 2 days later, same book, same book, different version, same grade, another $300. I should have bought it right away, but I took one, and this was like my first major under 100 big purchase because I picked up all the repeats and stuff like that.
Right.
So I was proud to get it. When you look at it, I don't know. I get it's got some problems. Still, for a 6.5, it presents well to me. And I've got
who's your favorite X-Men? Like, what's your favorite X-Men creative team?
the ones I read mainly the Claremont years. One
Like Vern drawing, probably, huh?
like 180. I think I started really getting them would have been 160s to 170s and 180s.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I started like that one cover. I've got an extra cover of it. I bought an extra slab of it. The Nimrod cover. I love the story of Nimrod. The big pink Nimrod in the front nailing. I've got it over here. I've got an extra copy of it, but because I bought it, I thought it was a higher grade than I already had. I mean, so I do have some above between 1 and 200 graded, but most of my gradeds are all below 100. I think probably about 60% I have of 1 to 100 are all graded. But I'm going to.
What ones do you need yet? Maybe the chat can help.
What was it? Oh, the last ones I need at the moment: 1, 2, 4, and 12. So you're talking.
Cheap ones. So, Chad, if you have any hookups on super cheap,
my lowest, and I just picked it up, and it's in bad shape, is number 3 at a 1.0. What hell? I got it for $80 under what the last time a 0.5 sold for.
Yeah.
It went up on eBay. I think a guy had one that was in really bad shape. I showed you guys it with a big old black mark on the bottom of it, a 1.0, and a guy wanted $250 for it. This one pops up, and it's missing a part of the X.
Yeah.
It showed up for $230. I offered him $160, and he's like, "Yep, here you go."
Okay. Yeah.
So I wasn't going to complain.
So are you looking to complete that next year then, your run?
I don't think I may never complete number 1. 1 and 4 are so expensive. 12 I can get like a decent, well, not a decent copy, but 1.8 for maybe around $300-400. But I'm going to keep on doing mystery boxes, and then while I have the money and I'm sitting on that money, if I see if I see one I need, I'll start making bids and offers on them, and if not, I then just buy books I want, get rid of books and mystery boxes I don't want, pick up some more Tales of Suspense, pick up. I've got a decent run of Iron Man 1 to 100, so I've got some younger ones. None of them really graded. Captain America's some of the covers I like. I've been getting, as Rob tells you, they drop like a fucking rock. I mean, I've got an extra Captain America in the next mystery box. It's a beautiful cover, but I don't need it. I don't need a double. I bought 2 by mistake. Yeah, facsimiles are just not my thing. I do have a facsimile of number 1, and it's in the front, but I'm not going to, there's no way I'm going to keep, I will go for the lowest copies I can possibly get.
I mean, you never know, right? You never know.
Yeah. They are dropping. X-Men, even though they've kind of made their appearances now, Beast has now made his appearance, and we're looking at what
do you have a giant size number 1?
No, that's one I've kind of put off too. Minimum price, and that's like $1,200 to $1,500.
Hey, like you never know. Somebody in the VIP Christmas exchange got a cover.
Right. And Parker got a gifted one.
Yeah. Somebody in there does have. I'm not sure if they're beating me to 1 to 100, which is fine. I don't care. I forgot who else was going for it, but I mean, really, I haven't bought a book I only bought one maybe in the last 8 months that I needed, which was number 3, just because I found it cheap. I wouldn't have bought it at all because a lot of the mystery boxes I'm doing now, I'm only doing runs of 5 at $100 each.
But right now, people are selling stuff because they need the money. So you'll find some deals out there.
Oh yeah, next mystery box, if they sell out, there's only 5, probably gonna be like $120 a box, and we'll see.
We're on your one with a personal story, right?
No, that was 65. We're on number 12 now. I got one book
Oh,
left.
the spec pick. All right.
Yeah, the personal story. I didn't really have a personal story. Is my X-Men. This is a spec pick. I mean, it's actually blown up again. I still think this will happen. Now, the story behind this one was I was working in Riverside, California. I was working with a guy who was after I broke up with my first wife. He was married and he was dating her. Yeah, you gotta love it. Guy, right after I broke up with her, he went in and started dating her while he had a wife. He's still around. He lives in near Moreno Valley area, California. Nice guy, but me and him were partners in comic books. We went and did shows together. So yeah,
your life, honestly, Eddie, your life is a John Prine song.
It is. It's fucking hilarious. I didn't really care. I was already done with her. What did I care? I moved on.
No, it's just.
She became a stripper, moved to Ohio, now works at a bank, Chase Bank.
Yeah, John Prine. Mixed with maybe a little bit of Tom Waits in there for good.
Yep.
Your spec pick, Eddie. Your spec pick.
I know. What, are we in that big of a rush? We've been here for what, 30, 40 minutes? Yeah, I thought you guys want stories. Shit.
Yeah.
Now, when we were doing shows, we were in, make sure we're in Riverside. There was a show they did every week. So we do that every time. My sister's brother's cousin. Yeah, I don't know. Tell the truth, I am about as straight-laced on everything ever. I have not done much of anything else in my life. I just got stuck on the roller coaster of everybody else's fucking life. But so we were buying and selling books all the time. And we were down in LA at I forgot the name of it. It used to be a monthly show down there. Oh, it was at the Shrine Auditorium in LA. We go down there and we found, this is probably almost the same week I got rid of my Spider-Man 300. We found a stack of these books, and we bought them. We knew it was the first appearance of somebody, and they're all of them were not great or anything like that. So I kept about 5 or 6 of them when some reason I had them laying around, and I sent almost all of them into CGC, and every single one came back as 9.8.
Ooh,
and
nice.
this is the only one. And I sold all of them for about $400 each on Facebook and a few other places. So, and I love the character. I have a bunch of his readers because they're not worth money. But, and of course, can anybody guess who it is? Well, yeah, I'm sorry. This will have to be it.
Oh, okay.
It's the last one I had. I had 5 or 6 9.8s at one point. I hate the look of the character in this book, but every other one, if you've never read his Christmas special, that's the one to go for.
I think Katie was talking about that the last time she was on.
When he eviscerates Santa Claus and all the elves.
Are you one of the ones that's like dead set on Jason Momoa playing him in the DC universe? Or are you?
For lookalike, that's who I could pick. You give me somebody else. I don't. Yeah. I think on this character, the way he looks, finding somebody that best represents the character in the movies is going to be hard. I don't see anybody else who can.
I thought the guy who played the comedian could for a while, but now he's too old for the role.
That's the other thing. A lot of the guys are becoming. I mean, you need long black hair, built like a shit house.
Yeah, but all that shit's easy. That's makeup effects. Like, I'm just wondering.
I still have long black hair.
I still think for overall body type and look, as of right now, until he gets a little older, he's the only one I could see doing it. If they do come up with somebody else that's good at it, fine. But if it's not done right, if it's not an R-rated, maybe even low X, if it's not done the way it should be done, I watched. Tomorrow night we can talk about Blue Beetle. We can talk about the Marvels. Holy shit! My wife's even like halfway through Blue Beetle. She's going, "The fuck are we watching?" And she likes those movies.
Yeah, but you got James Gunn at the helm. There's no way James Gunn won't go R with that.
I'm hoping he does, but who else do you see?
Lobo has the potential to be like DC's Deadpool. Like that kind of the edgy outlier. You know that's what Lobo can and should be if he's done right. I think.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
think
I
Jason
could see
Momoa can play him.
the wrestler Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. I gotta look him up.
I could see him doing Liv.
Yeah,
I don't think Momoa should do it. I think it should be somebody new, and I really don't think it'd be that hard to cast.
Okay,
You just need somebody that can play a good snarky jackass. You know, like
I could see him doing it. He needs to gain about 40 pounds of muscle. I'm sorry, and here's the joke. I want a prosthetic.
you want a dick elbow.
I want a dick elbow coming out of that if they're going to do it. It's the only way. I mean, that was by
Somebody clip that. I just want to hear Eddie on everybody's channel saying, "I want a dick elbow."
Yeah. If you don't do it right, I don't care. I never read Blue Beetle, but that movie was such a piece of. So I mean, I know he wasn't in charge of Blue Beetle, but it did come out on his watch. I don't know.
Well, it came out. I mean, anyways, the whole thing was made before he really had anything to do with it.
I know.
Right, that was a done deal. Flash was a done deal.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Flash. I know
You see, that's how we know Eddie's got problems. He enjoyed Flash, but he didn't enjoy Blue Beetle.
No. When he went in to get the job, and here's what got me on Blue Beetle at the beginning of that movie. When he went to go talk to the rich chick in the building, and he's dressed up looking for a job or whatever it was, and his family is out there cheering him on. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's just stupid.
It was originally created to be a streaming show or movie, not a theatrical release. So it wasn't.
See, I didn't know that.
What did you think
a bit differently, huh?
Have you seen Peacemaker?
Oh, Peacemaker's the fucking greatest.
Yeah, so that's James Gunn. Now, if James Gunn can do that, he can do a good Lobo. That's fine.
Peacemaker 2, the second season's on the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm waiting for that. But those are all 12. You can get me off being big now. I don't like being big.
No, those are fun, Eddie. So
that's fun, Eddie.
Right? Because I thought you were going to be mostly X-Men, and you just showed like a great mix of things that you like, which is what I like. It was just fun.
I really did the X-Men. I really don't really, truth be told, storylines and actual drawings. I'm not a big X-Men 1 to 100 fan. It's become just an obsession. I love the 140s and above. I love the Days of Future Past. But God Loves Man Kills the graphic novel.
Yeah,
right.
Storyline, best X-Men storyline ever. Up till about 220 to 230.
So you love the cheaper books,
huh? I've got number one. See, I've got number 140 to 400. Okay. I have all those books. I stopped even after I stopped reading them. I'd still get them when I was back collecting and put them away. And then this just became an obsession to get 1 to 100, and I want them graded. So
you had Steve and Tina saying cool books. Whole Collector 7 said he likes the Eddie stories, and Bobby De Legetto says thanks for sharing, and Tina says great job, Eddie.
Before Eddie started all this obsession, he had the voice of a saint, and he used him as a cautionary tale.
Yeah. Whole Collector agrees that God Love Man's Kills is his favorite X-Men story.
Yeah, but
Steve White
says the comic book shouldn't be about humans or politics or have anything to do with real life there, Gary.
Right. Well, some of them these days hit you over the head with stuff.
Hey, X-Men was Chris Claremont's X-Men was not subtle.
No.
It was not.
Right before I got on.
No, but it was
great news.
But it was well written.
Yeah,
it was written.
See, we got really good news. You heard who got tossed off the ballot in Colorado. Fuckhead's on his way. Goodbye, motherfucker.
No more. That's gonna get Gary. You're gonna lose Gary half his audience there.
I'm middle of the road. I still hate his fucking guts.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so we're gonna go around the horn. We're gonna start. So, Eddie, what's coming up for you, sir?
Mystery box round. I'm debating more than likely it's waiting till after the holidays. I think I have it about ready. Old books, new books, that kind of crap. That's about it, really. I got one video for between Christmas. I took a week off when I was sick. I got one video coming out during Christmas next week, and that's I got nothing else coming. I got some our rogue boxes maybe going out to certain people. Won't say who, but
Do you have a show tomorrow, Eddie?
huh?
Do you have a show tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
You say you're not coming anyway. Tomorrow we'll be on our channel with
I'm trying to
Rob.
help you.
Rob's normally there, but Taylor will be there. Slotted up, going up. Gary can always come on, but he's busy usually. I think on Wednesdays.
I'm sleeping for work.
That's true. Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't quite work. But Slotted Up will probably make an appearance. Sid will maybe. I don't know. I haven't talked to Sid lately, so we'll
It's
see.
open to anybody. So if you're in
Yep.
the audience, if you
Yes.
want to join in
Put the link
on this
up.
kind
Come
of
on and bitch.
brilliant, witty content, you can show up tomorrow on Eddie's channel.
Really,
And Taylor, what's coming up for you this week, sir?
Goddamn nothing other than Eddie's channel. So that's why I'm pimping that. Like all my stuff's on hold for now. Like my reviews and stuff are kind of on hiatus for a bit. So
Even your Wednesday night new
yeah.
comic book reviews?
Well, I'll be on Chris the Comic Vets live if I can make it on time. But that's on his channel, so I did, But yeah, my reviews and stuff are just kind of. I needed a break. Got some health issues with my father, so like I'll get back to it. 2024.
Right.
If the general public's lucky, I'll maybe put together a top 10 of 2023 at some point. But it's been a garbage year for everything. So yeah.
And Rob?
Thursday, I'll have a mystery box. Hopefully, it's my Yeah Man custom mystery box, curated mystery box. It's supposed to be delivered tomorrow, and if so, that's the box we're unboxing on for Thursday. Saturday, only slabs. Chris and I have our Christmas special, the year in review. Each of us will sit down and together, and we'll go over the top 10 slab pickups for each of us for the course of the year. Was not an easy thing to whittle down to just 10. And then Monday will be a Monday mail call on Christmas Day. Am I on the naughty list or the nice list? We'll find out.
There you go. All right, coming up for me this week, we have Dr. Von Hoot on Thursday.
Nice. DBA.
For his second 10-1-1 appearance. And then we're going to take the 26th off the day after Christmas. And then next Thursday, we have Frog Brawler on. And then we're going to get into the new year, starting with Biggie Shack on the 4th.
Oof.
That should be another good
That's
one.
gonna be rough.
That might be more of a rambling show than Eddie. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, you think I'm bad? Fuck. That could be here. That could be fun.
Oh, he'll have great books and he'll tell good stories. So,
Right, and he's been on before. He knows what to do. It's all.
He sounds like he and Eddie have the same kind of voice. Just one wears a lot of bling and chain smokes, and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I got. Does he ever sell stuff? I thought I got some from him once. It did not smell good.
But I want to thank everyone in the audience. We had a good turnout. Thank you guys so much for coming in and watching us. If you're not subbed to Eddie's channel, his link is in the description below. Please give him a sub. Same with my two co-hosts here. They're all in the description. Sub them up. And I want to thank Rob and Taylor for coming on to be my co-host. Thank you very much, guys. And Eddie, thanks for being a guest, dude. I appreciate you making it on the show and telling us your stories and showing us your books.
I don't get invited many places, so it was fun. I've only been invited.
I'll put that on a T-shirt for you, Eddie.
I've been invited to Rob's and this. That's it. I'm the last person they want on their fucking shows. Oh yes. Oh, by the way, we have Taylor's T-shirt. It's still falling apart. You can still kind of read the ER at the bottom. So
There you go. No, but thank you guys. I'll appreciate everyone tonight. A lot of fun, and I appreciate you making the effort to come on, even though you weren't feeling well, Eddie. I do appreciate it a lot.
just my voice gone. The nap helped. My midday nap.
Right, there you go. And until next time, guys, keep it casual.